Many thanks for choosing us. Remember, we are also free to air because we are on digital terrestrial television. And in our very first story, former Special Prosecutor Martin Amidu is fighting back what he says are attacks on his person following his resignation this week as Special Prosecutor. He's warning that the repercussions could be dire if what he describes as the mudslinging against his hard-won reputation does not stop, adding that even if it cost him his life, he will defend his integrity. Mr. Amidu resigned this week, citing frustrations, interference, and in his words, attempts to turn him into a poodle by the president among reasons for his resignation. These claims have since been vehemently rejected by government in a 40-point response. In the following interview, Mr. Amidu responds to claims made by MP for Asin Central Kennedy Japan on the Seat show on Net2 TV on Wednesday night that the former special prosecutor has a medical problem for which reason he should not have been appointed. Listen.
Oh, the allegation is coming from an incredible source, a person who has lost all credibility as far as truth is concerned. I mean, Kennedy Japan is known in Ghana as somebody who speaks lies at any person of integrity who tries to fight corruption. So I am not surprised that he will stoop that low, to make accusations without any foundation in fact or in truth. I have never been to Germany on any occasion. For a medical checkup. I don't know any German hospital or any German clinic, and therefore his allegations are false.
He said that this came out.
He has documents on me having gone for medical treatment in Germany. He should produce them because my passports are available. I have not been to Germany. Indeed, I don't know Germany, let alone to go for a medical treatment. The whole of my journey from the PNDC in 83 to when I left office on the 19th, I did not have the opportunity to visit Germany, let alone to visit a medical facility.
He talks about Muhammad Yarga having had this information before your vetting, but was impressed upon by John Muhammad.
Muhammad Yarga is my son, who, incidentally, I had to lead an investigation again because of public duty. Muhammad Yarga will tell the public that he holds no medical record on me having visited Germany. And I do not think that the attribution to Mama Yarga is true, because Mama Yarga will never, and I repeat, never make such false allegations against me as his father. He would have been ostracized by the chiefs and people of the Kusao traditional area for such a blatant lie. And I challenge him to get Mama Yarga on the phone to confirm that he had documents proving that I had been to Germany for any type of treatment whatsoever.
What would you do to him?
Mama is the person who asked Mama Yarga not to publicize those documents. President Mama is alive, he's not dead. He should speak to it. I don't know why a simple matter of a Japan Royalties Limited transaction, over which I conducted an anti-corruption assessment under law, should lead to all these lies being peddled about me. Yesterday it was that I used an office speaker to be panicked. I've never had a palm in my life. I've never entered an office pickup in my life. I had my own pickup and I never farmed with it. I had my own Camry, brand new. It's now only 500 kilometers because I have to use government car and abandoned it. The wires were eaten by mice. Just last week, I sent it to Gamot, and they put it in proper shape and repair. So what is all this lies? Simply because somebody has performed a professional duty and responsibility.
In the next part of the interview you're about to hear, Mr. Amidu says he feels pushed to speak and that his life is under attack.
Please, I have said since I left office that I was not going to give any press interview about my resignation. I was not going to talk to the press. I am being pushed by so-called responses to me, which contains blatant falsehoods, to speak. But I do not want anybody to blame me when I speak out and it becomes unpalatable. So, either the attack stop or I will defend my integrity, even if that means my death. It is something I won by dint of hard work from the PNDC to date. And I'm not going to allow anybody, not even a president, to pull that integrity into the mud.
Why do you think a sitting MP would make these statements against you, a sitting MP from the incumbent party? And what will you do to him now that you are challenging these claims that he has made?
That sitting MP has a character of assassinating every responsible person's character, including judges of the Superior Court. So why would anybody give him credibility? But you see, he has enough money. He owns a radio station, TV station, and all those things. I am a poor man who has tried to lead a straight and narrow life and crusaded against corruption without asking for payment. So, he will try to destroy me. You know, anybody who tries to fight corruption must be aware from the beginning that corruption will fight back. And all that is going on is corruption fighting back. And they're demonstrating that the whole rhetoric about fighting corruption was mere rhetoric. The time for reckoning has come. And nobody should push me. I repeat, nobody should push me.
Ghanaians would want to know how you're taking your retirement. And when you say nobody should push you, who can really speak to these people who are pushing you to stop?
Well, I'm speaking to you. And they should tell their people they have wrongly briefed to be telling lies about me to stop before I decide to respond. And when I decide to respond, I will do so without fear or favor. And all these threats about burgling me, armed robbery, burning my house, I'm aware. I tried to call Kandapa, he didn't pick it. And I got a former National Security Advisor to contact him and tell him. And I know the persons involved, I can name them. I reserve it for the meantime.
They are bagging your house.
I put my life on the Republic of Ghana, and the president will be responsible for anything that happens to me. I say burglary.
Okay.
They will rob me.
Okay.
They will burn my house. Look, I am telling you that the intelligence is there. And I called the Minister for National Security, he didn't pick it. But I got a former National Security Advisor to speak to him. And this fact is now known. And I'm saying that the president will be responsible for anything that happens to me.
Are you safe, sir?
What? I'm safe. I'm a Ghanaian. I don't fear anything. And as I said, to die in the cause of fighting corruption is what I started with President General Lawrence since 31st December 1981. And I'm not going to leave it because some people think that they can threaten me. I don't give a damn about that.
We wish you all the best, sir. And Ghanaians would be waiting to hear you respond to some of the issues that were raised by the presidency when you deem it
Well,
fit.
I have told you that if they don't stop, I will respond.
That was Martin Amidu on an Accra-based radio station, City FM, Umar Sanda. There's a follow-up statement from Mr. Amidu. My colleague, Parker Wilson, has a copy of the statement. Parker, what does the statement say? Right,
so Aisha, two quick issues Mr. Amidu raised in his statement. One, he says that there's an attack on his integrity, which he claims is being led by the president of Ghana, that is Nana Addo Dankwa-Akufo-Addo. And again, to set the record straight that, in fact, he's never visited Germany before. And there are no records to show that, indeed, he's visited Germany. So I read verbatim to you what the statement says. Now, the first paragraph, which talks about the integrity, says that the concerted efforts led by the president of Ghana and his government to discredit my integrity for producing a professional report on the analysis of the risk of the prevention of corruption and anti-corruption assessment is bound to fail, because the Ghanaian of 2020 is not the Ghanaian of 2016 who believed the mere rhetoric of fighting corruption. The attempt to divert attention from the serious suspected breaches of corruption and corruption-related laws disclosed in the anti-corruption assessment contained in the Ejapa report by making false and frivolous allegations against my person will fail, because truth shall always triumph over falsehood. That's the first paragraph. Now, the second paragraph deals with the medical issue as raised by the MP for Asin Central, Kennedy Japan.
Yes.
Now, he says that I have never had any reason or occasion to visit Germany throughout my life, let alone to visit any medical facility on health grounds. The records of my travels, which are available to the Lion Kennedy Japan's government, can be checked, and the Germany embassy contacted whether I have throughout my life made any application for a visa or visited Germany. He goes on to say that I was therefore shocked when my attention was called by a reporter from City FM to one of the usual false allegations typical of the unstable Kennedy Japan, published on Ghana Web today, 19th November 2020. The irredeemable liar par excellence against anybody Ghanaian of integrity who dares to perform his official function to the dissatisfaction of his government was reported to have spoken on his seat show on his Net2 TV on Wednesday night, daring me, here referring to himself as Martin Amidu, daring me to bring my medical records from Germany to determine whether I am normal. He goes on to say, the unrepentant liar attributed to my son, Martin Amidu, Mahama Yarga, whom I was painfully compelled to investigate in the course of duty in my former position as the special prosecutor, the falsehood that, and here he quotes what Kennedy Japan said, Ayarga was going to take him on to produce his medical records and explain why he went to Germany. But Mahama told him to stop. Don't raise this question at the appointment committee, unquote.
So that's according to Kennedy Japan. Okay.
And Mr. Martin Amidu is saying that that is untrue. Mahama Yaga does not have any record of him. He's never visited Germany before. And as a matter of fact, there are no records to show that indeed he visited Germany or has even applied for a visa to go to Germany. So what the MP said last night on his show is untrue or perhaps misleading, and that is according to the outgone special prosecutor, Martin Amidu.
And of course, so he also talked about, fighting or defending his integrity with his life. Does he state that also, how he intends to do that in that statement?
Well, that he indicated to the public and in his statement that government should not push him because there are evidence abound to show that indeed he has integrity still intact. And so if they push him to the wall, definitely he will come back with some unpalatable truth that may hurt the government going forward. And so he's asking them not to dare him at all or to push him to the wall, but if they do, then definitely he has no choice but rather to come out and say what he has to say.
And in the last few minutes, the Director of Communications at the Presidency has been posting stuff on his Facebook. And I'll read excerpts of what he posted on his Facebook. He says the attention of the office of the President has been drawn to claims by Mr. Martin Amidu, the former special prosecutor, of threats made against his life since his resignation from office. The president has thus directed the Inspector General of Police to provide Mr. Amidu immediately with 24-hour police protection. And it goes on to say the former special prosecutor is also encouraged to assist the police with details of persons who have made these threats against his life so that they can be dealt with in accordance with the laws of the country. Certainly, this is a matter that will not rest now. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that as the days unfold.
Yeah, but it is also worthy to note that the interview we just played, Mr. Amidu himself indicated that he doesn't want any police protection. It was clear in his mind when he was speaking to Omari that even though he's received some threats, what he believes is that government must provide security for all Ghanaians. He doesn't want a special security for him. He doesn't want anybody in his house. So it is quite interesting that
the presidency is
has issued a
statement
that
they
offer him security protection.
Police protection. But does he state specifically the kind who is issuing these threats? So
no, well, he didn't mention, but he says that people within government, I mean, but MPP supporters, he didn't mention names, but he claims that he had already made complaint to individuals within national security that these are the threats I have received so far since I made the report public or decided to resign from my position as a special prosecutor. And so I am telling you, and one of his statements, he indicated that if anything happens to him, we should hold the president responsible for that.
The coming days will be interesting because of the events unfolding. And I look forward to how this issue will be resolved, especially as we're gearing up to elections. The NDC has also been making statements throughout the day. We'll be getting you the issues from the NDC, the concerns raised by the NDC. But several fishing gears and outboard motors have been bent, and we'll be bringing you details after this break.